Greetings, Earthlings. Zube here for a pick a card reading. I'm going to leave this up for a few moments, not minutes, so that you can select an image, and then the timestamps will be in the information below so that you can see which reading applies to the image that you chose. Well, hi, pile one. So I'm going to start your reading off by saying that this is a weird one. What I do when I do these pick a cards is that I go to my bag of cards, right? And then I pull out a deck at a time and a number pops into my head for whatever pile it is. And it just sort of works for me like that. And yours, your cards were just strange, right? So first of all, I'm using a newer deck for your pile, and I was gonna set it aside because I like to know them a little bit better, but they were pretty insistent that the tarot card, that you get, the tarot card pack, is new to me. So what I'm getting a feeling about with this group is that you may have to get outside of your comfort zone, right? And then as soon as I was doing the reading, uh my stomach is a little flip-floppy, and it has not, I don't care that I'm using a new deck, like that's totally fine. It's just not how I usually do things, so it's not flip-floppy for that reason. But I don't know, I'm really curious, so let's start. Although I may have to look up meanings, and I have no shame about that. All right. So you got resources. This is the internal card, so this represents you. It is a major arcana card, and it's the magician. So the magician is the creator. He has, he's the alchemist. They're called bowls, pipes, arrows, and rock and stones in this deck. But it's about harnessing the elements of earth, fire, air, and water in order to create something. So we're creating our own reality. The magician card can be kind of scary because it's almost like you're in this empty space. But again, I always point out that when you're on a roller coaster, the feeling of being scared is the same feeling as being excited, right? So this could be a an exciting time. But and I teaching on the external, you have teaching lodge of the arrows. And I have no idea what that means. It's not even. We're learning together. Interesting. So I guess this would be equivalent to the Queen. Okay. So liberate by revisioning the world. Wow, I get it. I get it. Teaching Lodge of the Arrows. So this is like the Queen of Swords. Um, liberating the world. There's a truth that you want to speak. There's something maybe that you want that you have to be decisive about going into the world, words that you want to share. This is someone literally teaching, but maybe you're uncomfortable in that place. Okay. And then we have the Six of Pipes. And the Six of Pipes is, I remember this one. Because I just pulled it yesterday for myself, actually. This is the overarching theme of the reading. So the Six of Pipes is about honing your craft, which is really amazing. Maybe this is my pile too. Hey, Paul. It's just us. Yeah, so there's something, okay, so that's the overarching theme of the reading. So it's like maybe you're learning about something, or whether it's a subject or something about yourself, or there's an area or like information that you've been exploring, and you're in this place where you've been a receptacle, you've been the magician, and now you have these tools that are in your hands that you can use to share, that will help people. And the anxiety could be that this is maybe new for you, right? But this is a smart card. You know you're smart, and it's like maybe you need to give yourself a little bit of credit for that, but that causes a little bit of anxiety. um let me pull my fairy deck. Medicine. Veggies and fruit from yellow to blue, like medicine, they're good for you. So a couple of things here, and always this is a general reading. So, there are so many people that watch that whatever you take away or synchronicities or whatever jives, or, be metaphorical, but it could be that you're learning something about like food or health or something like that, that you want to share with others. Just don't do so unsolicited. I don't know, maybe some people are cool with that, but anyway, be mindful of what you share, and the way that you share it. But it could also be saying, take better care of yourself. Make sure that you are well rested when you're creating, when you're in this area of creation. It's talking about resources, right? So that's, be resourceful with your own self, because kind of once you venture out into the world and start doing things, and sharing information that you might have, it could get away from you in amazing ways, but you've got to remember to take care of yourself, right? I'm going to pull a Bob Ross. Let's see what he has to say. It could be also, make sure that you're eating right. Maybe that's the flip-floppy and the stomach deal. Um, okay. Yeah, you guys are gonna have to tell me if what this is about. So we have the Four of Cups. It's the Four of Hearts, and then there's a little Bob Ross quote on here. That's a crooked tree. We'll send him to Washington. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Okay. The Four of Hearts in a regular card deck is the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is about there's an opportunity or there's something that you might be missing. It's like paying so close attention to things that either you're trying to manifest or create or whatever, and not realizing that like over here something is growing, or something is being offered to you. Okay. That's a crooked tree. We'll send him to Washington. Maybe you're looking at something that you were trying to grow, right? Or something that you were trying to create. And it's coming out a little crooked. But in the meantime, there's another way to look at it, or, another form that it can take, or something having to do with it or not having to do with it altogether, coming in on the side, that is the way that you're supposed to go. It's really about not getting stuck in a certain story or in a certain, we'll say narrative, just because Washington came up in this card, but it's about not getting so hyper focused on what you're trying to do that you miss something a little different along the way that could take you in a new direction. Okay. And then we got the Six of Hearts, which is the Six of Cups. And that's just go out and talk to a tree, make friends with it. Yeah. Maybe you're on a beaten path and you just need to walk off to the side for a little bit, talk to a tree, talk to a new person, make a friend, um, set an intention or something like that for inspired action to come to you. For, if you get an impulse, like, why don't I go here? I haven't been there in a while. Or, oh, I know I usually go home this way, but I want to go that way and stop by this place. Or, oh my gosh, I just thought of this friend I haven't talked to in a while. Um, Maybe I should give them a call. There, there's something popping up for you while you've been in some sort of creative space. And it's like open your eyes. That's kind of what I just got. Open your eyes. I had gotten earlier while I was shuffling, an animal popped in, and it was a sheep. And a sheep says to me, like, maybe okay, maybe it's time to like shave. Is it called fur? I don't even know, your coat, whatever. Kind of, rejuvenate yourself, and also dare to be independent. You know what I mean? Like, are you kind of accustomed to going with the flow? I know sheep has a really negative connotation just because whatever, but it didn't pop in my head in that sort of sense. But it's like, maybe there is a chance for you teaching Lodge of the Arrows to really step out and be the herder. This is a really strange reading. I like it, but it's strange. Believe in the impossible. It's a blue moon. I feel giddy about this reading. I don't know what it is. Um, Believe in the impossible. You can do whatever it's uh, it's almost like, are you cutting yourself short, um and not even seeing an opportunity, and not even seeing an opportunity because you don't believe you're capable. You are capable. Wow, badass. This is fun. Maybe you, okay. That's a crooked tree. We'll send him to Washington. You know, maybe there's a heartfelt way. This is a weird message. There's a heartfelt way that you do things, or like you really have your heart on something, but you see other people who are doing it more successfully than you or something like that. And you're like, well, I can never do that. You know, I'm not qualified. I don't know. It's something like that because this medicine is almost like maybe you're the medicine of whatever craft or idea or whatever that you have that just has your heart and soul into it, you know, and maybe you're getting discouraged by people who are just better at the mechanics. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, there's definitely something here about not giving yourself enough credit. Um, think bigger. That just came through like really think bigger. Yin. Okay. Yin is about, there's yin and yang. This is feminine, that's masculine and feminine. Yin is about receiving. Yeah, it's almost like you have blinders on. And so maybe you're seeing a piece of what you want emerging, but it's even bigger than you can see, right? Because you have on like you have like tunnel vision. So you might even know that something is kind of coming up for you, but it is even bigger than you imagine. Don't miss that. Um, wow. But yin is about receiving. It's like it's being brought to you. New beginnings, begin your new life. Medicine. So, like another thing that was coming to me is kind of okay. So, if you're a sheep, you know there are wolves, but it's almost like the wolves are in sheep's clothing, and you're afraid that the other sheep are going to think that you're crazy. I'd love to hear if this resonates with anybody because this is a fucking weird ass reading. But it's like trust yourself, but keep learning. You know, this is about honing your craft. But it's almost like being like maybe like being there's this thing where when people are not that smart about something, they think they know a lot about it, right? But when people are smart about something, they realize there's so much that they don't know. Um, and so then you almost kind of step back. Like I did did that with astrology. I was like, yeah, I know a lot. And then, you know, and that was 3 years ago. And it's like now I'm like, oh my gosh, like there's just more and more and more and more. And you know, I get that. I understand though that I know a hell of a lot more than most other people. Um, so there's like a confidence level, and I think that you are being prompted through this reading to be a little bit more confident in your abilities or whatever you've learned or whatever it is you're trying to do. I'm going to pull a bitch card for you guys. Let's see what they say. Man, what is going on with food in this reading? Okay. Step away from the crazy making diet for a hot second. Kale and spirulina taste like ass. Eat some yummy shit. Bacon, chocolate, beer. Get some. Let me sit with this for a second. So, medicine. There's something about veggies and fruit from yellow to blue, like medicine, they're good for you. Honing your craft. Are you becoming, okay. Sometimes when we put things into practice, right, it tones us down a little bit. I rarely look at my own birth chart, okay? You know, with astrology and stuff like that. I barely read my own tarot cards. But there's like a phase that I think most people go through when they're learning something new. Like I'm still obsessed with it, but not obsessed with it for me. So maybe this tunnel vision, like there can be a bigger picture where you can diffuse this being hyper focused. And it'll just add more depth to your practice, right? Um, that's wild. That's all I got. There's a bigger picture emerging for you. The biggest thing is don't be hyper focused on a certain particular outcome. Make sure that you're being well rounded. Look at the bigger picture, and that will open up new opportunities for you because there are other areas. It's like you are in the yin receptive position and things are being brought towards you. That's the manifester. There's a larger, you have the resources, there's a larger picture situation that you are in the position to co-create with God, the universe. And you have to loosen your grip to let that happen. Look, he's got his arms up. Anyway, let me know how that went for you if you're so inclined. Have a great day on earth. Peace and namaste. What is up, pile two? I'm going to bust out some tarot for you. Let's see what we have going on here. Got the Queen of Wands. The Ten of Cups. Alrighty then. Some of this. Pardon me. Okay, and the Four of Wands. So this, these are very relationship-y cards, okay? So I'm going to talk about it in the context of a relationship. Could be a relationship with like a work, a job, or you know, a friend or something like that. This is a general reading. And so, metaphors are important to understand, but we've got, this is you, okay? So we've got the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands, the wands they're about manifesting. The Queen of Wands, she's got her familiar. So it's about, the wands are creativity, passion, fire. It's about, standing up for ourselves, knowing that we create our experience. The so oh okay, you might have actually been manifesting something actively, right? And this is the external card. So the external card is the 10 of cups. I call this is like the happy family card. Okay. So we have, we have a couple, but the 10 of cups is emotional fulfillment, long-term happiness, success that brings a wave of emotion and heartfelt gratitude, right? When I was first shuffling, I'm like, this pile feels really calm. And then the overarching theme is the Four of Wands. Um, the Four of Wands is about, that can be homecoming, right? I think of it as the homecoming card. And again, it's the suit of the wands. It is an 1111. So I think of it often as a spiritual homecoming. It can be a literal homecoming. So maybe there's been like the purchase of a house or a move or something like that, or just a sense of being at home with ourselves. This could even be a relationship with you, or your relationship with your higher power, the universe, God, whomever. But it is about feeling comfortable and just feeling at home. This is a really like emotionally satisfied kind of experience. There's no difficult cards that have come out for this. These are all amazingly good. So in any moment, I can surrender to the powerful presence of love through prayer, contemplation, and stillness. What's your problem? Like, do you even have a problem? Are you just stopping by to see what's going on? Whenever you surrender, you can always surrender more. Maybe there's more for you to receive. That's an amazingly receptive place to be, these cards. You don't have to have a problem to come and see me. So, wish. Make a wish with a dandelion in the wind. Okay. Maybe you're like, maybe you're doing all right. And you're like, am I allowed to even ask for more? Yes, you are. You are. You know what? I have another tarot deck here. I'm going to pull a card from there. Um, we're here to enjoy our lives, right? And life is difficult. So maybe it's almost like you're like, but things are so good. Um, the Seven of Swords. So the Seven of Swords is about, it can be about something going on behind the scenes, um, trying to get away with something. Uh, so maybe things are really good right now, and you're like, is the other shoe gonna drop? It's really hard not to think like that, but I used to think like that, but now I'm like, oh my goodness, is it gonna get even better? You know, instead of expecting the other shoe to drop, I just anticipate things to get better. And then when they don't, I honestly, I'm not blowing smoke out my ass. I really am kind of like, oh, well, you know, that was a good run. Um, it'll get better again eventually. It's just better than the cycle of thinking I was in, where when things were shitty, I was like, well, yeah, of course. Um, and then when they got good, I would be like, well, they're going to suck again for sure. So, you know, unless maybe you are trying to get away with something, that could be too. And in which case, because sometimes when things are good, we do have a tendency to like self destruct them or whatever, if that's how you roll. Um, in any moment, I can surrender to the powerful presence of love through prayer, contemplation, and stillness. And maybe you just need to get to that quiet place and feel okay, you know. Let things be good. Let me pull. All right, let me bust out this deck. This is my frog. This is my preschool deck. It doesn't always talk to me, but it may be symbols that are meaningful to you. I'll see what it inspires when I select the card. Good. So we had 3 fallout. I was only going to do 2. We got key. So you literally may have moved to a new home and you're just like blown away and amazed. And you're like, kind of like when I had babies and I was leaving the hospital and I was waiting for a nurse to come running out and be like, no, 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 never mind. We changed our mind. You know, I'm like, I can just like leave with this baby. Like maybe you had an accomplishment or something like that and you're like, am I really, did I really just do that? Like, they're gonna let me into this house, they're just gonna like give me the key. um you know, it's like that, am I getting away with something? Like, did I pull one over on God? No, you didn't. You know, I'm here to tell you, you did not. Duck. Duck is just making me think of, and I don't know what it might mean to you, but it's kind of making me think of this, where like, are you ducking? You know what I mean? Um, and then we got egg. And look, the egg has legs and it's running. So when I think of an egg, I think like it's fragile. Are you afraid that something is going to break? You know, um, are you proceeding with extreme caution? Caution is fine. Fearing, you know, something that has not or may not or probably won't occur is not, you know. So there's something about being cautious and there's something hidden going on underneath here. And I'm not, well, it would be different for all involved, but it's like everything is fucking amazing. Enjoy it is what this reading is about. Got another deck from. And of course, because this is a general reading, I'm sure some of you reading this have something going on, in which case, you know, you're free to choose another pile or another reader altogether. But um, overall, if the overall bigger picture for you is looking pretty a-okay, then don't, try not to worry. Don't worry. Peace. Bridget, goddess, in your sacred name, a light within my peace's flame. Yes. Let yourself be at peace, okay? Um, there's a little mouse back there too. It's okay to feel at peace. my bitch deck has to say to you. I will say this pile has had a bunch of cards drop, and it's almost like, are you waiting for the other shoe to drop? Don't do that. You are loved. You are here for a reason. Don't fuck it up. Okay, ready? And I was only going to pick one. What's this one? You need a big fucking hug. Squeeze. Okay, yes. I'm going to tell you what I think they just did here. You are loved. You are loved. This don't fuck it up. I think that's you. I think that's you worrying. And then the response is, you need a big fucking hug. Enjoy whatever it is that is good in your life. And try not to worry. Anyway, I'd love to hear feedback. Have a great day on earth. Peace. Namaste. One last thing, group 2. There was somebody with jingling keys outside my apartment door. And while I was doing your reading, I don't know if you kind of noticed, I got distracted for a second because inside my head, I was like, some bitch is going to be knocking on this door right now, maintenance or something like that. And they'll interrupt me. It's going to be a pain in my ass. And guess what? It never happened. Right. And so that just felt really important to tell you. Anyway, bye. What up, pile 3? Let's get your tarot cards and see what we've got going on for you. This is a general reading, so hopefully you get some synchronicities or personal messages, but be mindful. A lot of this is metaphorical and as it applies. It's 3 cards all at one time, so let's see what that's about. All right. Internal. This is what would be going on in you. Like, yeah, we've got the Ace of Cups. I really don't like the lighting here. Anyway, I'm having struggle is real. I hope you can see that. It's the 7 of Cups. So the 7 of Cups is about uncertainty. On that note, it's like we're kind of looking at things ahead of us and not quite sure what is going to turn out and what is not going to turn out. And we're wondering where we should like invest emotionally in the future. And it makes total sense because the external card is the 8 of Wands. The 8 of Wands is about there are just a bunch of things in the air right now. There's the wands are action. Okay. So maybe you have put forth effort. It can also be communication, messages going back and forth, but nothing has landed. Okay. So it's kind of this anticipatory kind of, feeling, right? The 7 of Cups is like, and like emotional uncertainty, you know what I mean? So, and then the overarching theme of the reading is the Knight of Cups. the Knight of Cups, that is about offering up an emotional investment, right? The knight is heading out into the world in order to, he's the cup, so he's emotional in order to express himself emotionally. So the gist that I'm getting from this reading is that we've we've invested ourselves or are looking to invest ourselves in something or some things emotionally, and we're like, what the fuck is going to happen with it, with that shit? Are the wands like flying through the air? Are they going to like hit the mark? Where are they going to land? What's going to happen? And the fact of the matter is that it's up in the air. It's just uncertain. um Let me pull some oracle cards for you. And maybe that's the feeling that we're kind of getting our head wrapped around. Because it's a weird place to be. But it's a good place to learn to get comfortable. Getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. Council, group, meeting, advisors. There's a bunch of animals on there. So it could be that you are like waiting to hear back about something from a number of people, that you have posited questions to other people or expressed ideas or something like that, and you're waiting to hear back. It could be that you're in this place of uncertainty and that you should seek counsel from someone else, like maybe bounce questions, or even like your, emotions. This Knight of Cups is about venturing out, and connecting with people. So maybe your head is spinning and you just need to have a conversation with somebody and they're like, just chill. um, or perhaps you could take this action, and that would be a good way for you to go to get a little more certainty, right? I'm going to pull a couple more oracle, and then I'm just going to pull a clarifier on that Eight of Wands, just see if we can get something on it. Jude's song. A reminder for even the most hopeless of lost causes, of lost cases. You can find peace within the strangest of places. Yeah, find peace. Maybe there's some, maybe you went out on a limb, right? We've got the wands. That's sticks in this deck. So maybe you went out on a limb with something and you kind of don't know how it's going to turn out. So you're like, what's going to happen? But the Eight of Wands is really about things being beyond your control. Let me see. Clarify. Empress. This is definitely something creative. Um, the Empress she is the mother of, the major arcana. So it's divine feminine energy. It's in the regular tarot, she's pregnant. So it's kind of like pregnant with an idea, right? Like we're trying to create or birth something. It's a really uh it's a good sign, it's a good card, it's a good feeling card. So but it's almost like maybe there's something creative, you stretched yourself creatively, and you just don't know what the fruits of your labor are going to look like yet, or how they're going to be received. and that's sort of the anticipation that's going on. Let's do another shuffle. That Seven of Cups also can be feeling ungrounded. And actually it can, that can be a really ungrounding feeling when things are out of your hands. So, be mindful. It can be a little bit like overthinking, or your thoughts are kind of cloudy. So take a walk, or something like, outside. Clarity. Stopping to listen to my inner self, I can easily separate my intuition from my mental chatter. The clarity of my intuition is a sweet, simple fruit that tastes familiar, and the mental chatter is a confusing, bitter rind that I shall peel off and chuck into the garbage or compost heap if your mental chatter happens to be organic. That's pretty much what I was saying. Take a walk in nature, get grounded, clear your intuition and your centeredness, away from all of the thinky thoughts. Yeah, get grounded, and clarity will come, with time. And in the meantime, it's if you're waiting to hear back on something or something like that, it doesn't help to have your head spinning around and around. Dive. You don't find pearls on the seashore. So dive in here, okay? You're not going to find pearls up here. It's like dive in here. Get centered, get in your heart, calm down. One more deck for you, two wide. Two decks. Answers are coming. That's what I got. Yeah. God damn. I follow my inner guidance. Yeah. That's in here. It's in here. It's not in here. It's, connect with your divine, whatever that is, or take some time for you. I'm really getting to go outside and take a walk. Talk to the animals, talk to your dog. Sometimes the thoughts and the mental chatter just need like an escape hatch, sit down and like verbal vomit, like word diarrhea all over a piece of notebook paper if you have stuff that's spinning around in your head. And we're going to get a bitch card for you. See what that has to say. Have you eaten? You're acting like a big ass baby. You need food in your belly. Eat a fucking taco. Well, I can't really think of anything more grounding than eating a fucking taco. Eat a fucking taco. Talk to your dog. You don't know you don't know the answers just yet, and that's okay. Um, get okay with being uncomfortable. Clarity will come. Don't be a big fucking baby. Anyway, I hope you have a great day. Peace and namaste. Hi, pile four. I'm going to grab some tarot for you. So 20 years ago when I was in, right after college, I got a job working for this politician guy, and I was super nervous. And on my first day, I walked in and there was this older lady, probably about my age. No, she might have been like in her 50s or something. And when I walked in, I said, hi. And she looked at me and she goes, I wish I was. Anyway, that just made me think of that. And that job actually ended up being really fun, except that Bill Clinton got a blowjob from an intern while I was working there. And all of my friends who had been like, why do you work for a politician? Then turned into like, what do you do for that guy anyway? It was an interesting time of life. So, what do you have going on? Pile 4. 10 of Wands. It's overwhelmed, but nearing the end of something. That's the internal card. Ooh, the devil. The devil. And the external. So it's like you might be feeling really kind of stuck. Oh, the Hermit. The Hermit is the overarching theme of the reading, okay? So you got the 10 of Wands. The 10 of Wands is about a journey or something coming to completion, right? But it's the last shebang. The Devil card is kind of telling me that maybe you're like stuck at this end point, right? Maybe there's something that you have to move past and you're having trouble moving past it because for some reason you just feel stuck. These guys are chained to the devil, but here's the deal, ready? It's just loosely on there. They could totally free themselves. So it's about kind of choosing, kind of like there is a way out. And especially the Hermit card is one of my favorites. It's actually a pretty spiritual card. It's like, this guy gets flustered. I make up the story as I go along, and he goes into the cave in the dark because he's just like over it. And then in there, he finds his inner light, and that's the star in the lantern. So then he uses his own inner light to make his way back out of the dark cave. And it becomes his mission to show others that they have their own internal light. It is a very spiritual card. So I don't know what kind of journey or process or healing or anything like that you are on. This is a general reading, so it would apply to people differently. But the 10 would indicate that you're it's like I just keep getting that you're leveling up, and it's just at that point where it's gonna happen when you choose to process or do or complete whatever it is that you're processing or doing or completing. I want to clarify that devil card. Yeah, 10 of Swords. So you got a 10 and a 10. And the 10 of Swords, that's just devastation. That, you know what I mean? And the devil is like addictions. I call it 3D reality, like being materialistic, being like desirous and wanting, like just wanting more and more and more. Maybe there's something that you couldn't have or some way that you were um devastated, something that maybe you met your own demise, right? Maybe you got yourself into some sort of trouble. And now there's this hermit time. There's this time to go and dig deep and find your inner light. So if there's been some kind of struggle, or there is a struggle that you are in the throes of and that you are encountering. This is the process where you dig in and you heal. And here's, yeah, okay. I love that it's 2 10s. You are at the completion of some sort of event or stage or phase of your life. Let me get some oracles for you guys. You may just be going through it. So these are Archangel Michael chakra cards. Yeah. When I read this card to you, you're probably going to be like, fuck you, Zube, and fuck you, Archangel Michael. That's okay. He's a big guy. He can handle that. I can handle it too. I'll be all right. Accept each new challenge with eagerness. You're growing. And if this is really super painful, I do not mean to be flip. Clearly, this is a general reading, and I'm just being me. But with every challenge that we go through, and believe me, I have experienced some extremely educating challenges that have been brutally painful. And I've grown. I am who I am because I've been through those experiences. And I did find my own inner light. And that's the journey of the hermit. And that's the journey that it seems like, or it's the leg of it that you may be on at the moment. Um, I do keep getting that you are leveling up, right? So this could just be like the the grand finale of like the end. Um, give yourself grace. Invitations, chances are. What I'm getting from that is, you might be getting messages. Look, it's a little fairy. Um, you may be getting messages from your angels, from your guides, from the universe, from God, from friends, from, um, any sort of message or something like that. But a message of love is coming in whenever we lose things or things are cleared out. There are always other things that are going to move in and fill that space. Okay, you got to do it yourself. And what I'm taking that to mean is that maybe you just feel really alone. And if you feel alone, it's because your higher power or, the universe wants to get with you because you are about to level up. And that's a private conversation, you know. And what's really interesting is we have the 10 of wands, he is alone. The 10 of swords, he is alone. The hermit, he is alone. In the card of the devil, in the card of whatever we're stuck on or addicted to, or where we're not getting what we want. There's company here, you know, there's company there, sure, and it can feel good. Um, but true learning happens when you're in the company of the divine. Let's see, these guys. Spark. So she's playing a musical instrument. I think it's a violin. It's number 34. If that means anything. Do it yourself. You've got, it's a little oil can here. So invitation, chances are there's a letter here. Spark is about creativity. It's about really alchemizing and transmuting our life experience, which in this event could be pain, into a creative process, right? Finding a way to let that energy, that emotion flow through us so that it doesn't get stuck somewhere. Maybe take some time to write, to paint, however you creatively express yourself. Throw stones in the water, yell, shout. I've done all of these things, but try to find a way to let that emotion out of your body. We got triple spiral, listening to divine wisdom and joyfully learning life's lessons. Joy might be kind of an extra word if this is like really difficult, or if you're really angry, you probably don't want to hear much about joy. But let's call it grace. Using difficult experiences, taking that energy and manifesting it into something that we put out, just to move it. Like I keep getting, move that energy. With the devil card, it's like that's why it can mean like addictions, because sometimes we try to like mask that emotional process, like just cover it up or bury it or push it down, or get so fucked up that we forget it's there. um be mindful not to do that. This is about moving emotions through, because there really is a spiritual lesson being learned here, that you are ascending in a way, spiritually. I'm going to pull a bitch card for you, because everybody's gotten one, and I don't want to add to your sorrow by leaving you out. You think someone is lying. They are. Actually, yeah. That 10 of Swords can be deception and betrayal. Being stabbed in the back, literally. Maybe you have been betrayed. Somebody lied to you. You were really disappointed in a relationship, especially the case because the devil is a couple. It could be that this is relationship related. We've oh, one of these for you. Give yourself grace, give yourself time, give yourself space. The hermit goes to the cave alone, right? Don't feel bad about taking time out for you. You could receive invitations. There's a heart on there. You might get, I don't know if this is a situation where if you get a speedy apology or something like that, because you got that spiral, I think of the spiral as like spiraling. And learning as we spiral, it's not going around in circles, right? So be mindful if you do get an apology or something like that too soon. Make sure that you really, really consider what you've learned here, and that whatever conclusion you come to, or when you as a hermit emerge from the cave and found your own inner light, that you are honoring yourself, right? Organization, purpose, planning, efficiency now come to me so easily. Number 42. Organization. So it's kind of funny. Maybe get your shit in order. You know what I mean? Um, maybe you were, it could be like that you heavily relied on someone, or there's a situation where all of a sudden you're reeling because you're on your own and you've been betrayed. Stand up, get organized. I can see this in a couple different ways. Organizing will keep your mind from getting away from you. It will also make you feel better about whatever situation it is that you find yourself in if you're organized. And it'll make you feel more grounded. Yeah. Burrow into your cave and organize. So what I'm really getting from this is like, take responsibility for you. And I don't say that to be like a dick, you know what I mean? Um, but yeah, do it yourself. Don't get lost in self-pity. You know what I mean? Don't get lost in like, woe is me. Um, there's a time for that, right? Like we do that. That's meh. But don't get stuck there. Use this as a process for growth. Don't reach out and accept any old invitation that looks like a way out of the pain, because I feel like this pain always has, we can make it useful, is what I'm saying. Um, anyway, if any of this resonated, thinking of you, and take care. But yes, be responsible, give yourself grace. Don't try to jump out of whatever situation you're in and then end up in just another situation that is, similar or whatever. Make sure you learn your lesson and process the emotions from whatever you have going on. Oh, okay. I gotta go. I hope you have a great day on Earth. Peace. Namaste.